So for my 30-day video, I decided to go outside by the park, but it is a little bit colder than I expected. And I don't know, I feel kind of vulnerable making this video outside. So decided to make it inside my car. So the reason why I went carnivore, I tried it 2 times in the past before. For The first time I tried it was because someone suggested it to me. And I remember during that time I was a fruitarian. So it was a really hard switch. I didn't want to, and I hated it every day. So I did it for about 2 weeks, and then I stopped. Um, and then I went back to my regular diet, which was mostly plant-based, fruit-based. And then I did it again the second time recently. I think I did it out in about December. I did it because I was having like a lot of inflammation, and my best friend ChatGPT suggested that I go more of a meat-based diet. So I started going carnivore. I had some pretty good results. I felt like it helped me tremendously in the fact that I could eat regular food. Inflammation went down, so I started eating regular food again. Not junk food, but most like grains and veggies and some fruits. And the pain came back. It was even worse. So then that's when I decided to go on the carnivore and 30 days that I'm on right now. In the beginning, when I decided to go carnivore this time, it's been slowly progressing for maybe about a year, 8 months. But I started noticing like I started getting a lot weaker. My hands started shaking. I was just losing energy. It was getting harder and harder every day to get out of bed. It started to feel like if I was gonna end up in a wheelchair. Like I was just losing my strength. Even like when I was driving, like when I had like my foot on the gas pedal or the brake pedal, my leg would be shaking. I also drive a manual, so even like switching gears, it was becoming more and more difficult. And I was really worried. At this point, I didn't know what else to do because I tried everything, and started doing some research, started listening to different people, uh, listening to like miraculous stories of how a meat-based diet got people up and walking again. Someone suggested to me to eat raw eggs. Um, that was kind of like almost my gateway to going carnivore. So I started eating some raw eggs. I saw some benefit, not nothing dramatic. Um, then after that, I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go carnivore. So I started that. I think it was like around January 15th or 20th, and I kid you not, within 3 days, I felt like so much better, like so much stronger. Up until that point, like I completely stopped working out because I just couldn't work out anymore. Whenever I would do push-ups, my arms would be shaking. Like I would just be trembling the entire time. I couldn't do pull-ups. Well, I was still able to do these exercises, but it was extremely uncomfortable, and I was extremely fatigued afterwards. And the entire time, my body was shaking. No matter what I ate, like I was eating 3,000 calories of carbohydrates and plants and everything, and meat. I was mixing everything in there, and I just kept getting weaker and weaker. And I kept eating more and more, thinking that I was just low on energy, and it wasn't working. So I went 3 days carnivore. That started like around January, and in those 3 days, I felt stronger. Like when I woke up, I wanted to work out. Like I was jumping out of bed, and I was like, "Holy crap!" So after that, I said, "You know what? I'm just gonna do this consistently. Like I'm not gonna get off of it. I'm gonna keep going." And I continued to go. Here and there, I had inflammation. So here and there, I had inflammation. Some really bad ones because once I went into carnivore, I was highly inflamed. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, my blood, it felt like it was like constantly ignited, sparks or fire. Like my blood was on fire, and it just hurt everywhere. A lot of pain. So I went having that into the carnivore diet, and within the carnivore diet, it will kind of like bounce here and there. Some days it would be gone, other days it wouldn't. It would still be persistent, And then in one of my videos, that's when I said I'm gonna start taking antibiotics. I started taking I use olive oil, I use oil of oregano, and I use cinnamon bark. I use that multiple times throughout the day, and it helped reduce the inflammation. It was great, but the inflammation kept coming back and kept coming back. But I just stayed the course. I stayed on carnivore, kept doing research, kept learning about the macros, and I started increasing my fat more because I was eating maybe equal parts protein, equal parts fat. So I started increasing my fat more and more and more. And needless to say, today when I woke up, I have like very minimum inflammation for the past 2 days, and my skin just feels a little bit more hydrated, more nourished. Going into the carnivore diet, my skin was like it's just in really bad shape. I spoke to a friend of mine. I showed him a picture. He said it looks like my skin is trying to push out like the micro toxins that's in my blood or in yeah in my circulation. Um, I've been to doctors, multiple doctors, people who we were supposed to go to for help, and none of them acknowledged my skin when I would complain about it. None of them told me what was going on with my skin. Yeah, you could say I could go to a dermatologist, but I don't even feel comfortable in their diagnosis. Plus, the treatment's probably going to be some steroids, which I don't want to take because that doesn't do anything. I just wanted somebody to tell me what's happening to my skin so I can start researching it and I can start taking the appropriate actions to correct it. Um, but I never got that for since it started. And let me mention this. My skin started degrading when I started noticing it when I was on the fruit diet. So I ate 30 days of just fruit, and I felt great. I had a lot of energy, but I started noticing my skin started changing for the worse on that fruit diet. And ever since then, I just been having like a lot of issues since then, like a lot of skin issues that have not been able to resolve. So with the carnivore diet, I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like it's really helping my skin, which is supposed to because you're getting the animal fat, the collagen, just like all these essential minerals and nutrients for the body, that the body uses to heal. Um, my tongue, it might be a little bit white right now, but more and more, I'm like throughout my day or when I wake up, I'm starting to notice it go more and more back to pink. Uh, I think it's a combination of dehydration and my microbiome being all jacked up. Um, I think honestly the biggest thing for me going carnivore and the reason why I'm sticking to it is just the abundance of energy. I feel more energized. I feel really confident that it's working. I can work out again. Like I came to the park and I'm a little bit upset that I didn't come earlier because I want to go for a run. Like a few months, weeks ago, the thought of me even running was a dream. Like I felt like I was never gonna run again, and now I have enough energy where I feel like I can go running. And I'm telling you, it's because of the carnivore diet. And another big thing that I can think about, I can talk about so many things, but I'm trying to keep it just around my the last 30 days of carnivore, why I went carnivore. I'm starting to get more mental clarity. In the beginning, like when I first got sick, I had severe brain fog. I couldn't think. Like just any kind of issues with the memory or the brain, vision was affecting me greatly. I feel like my vision is like slowly improving. And when I say improving, I mean that my vision was greatly affected, and now it's returning back to normal. So I can kind of slowly see it going back to normal. It's gonna take a while. Um, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the mental clarity. So I'm starting to notice more and more and more. Since I got sick, I was severely low energy. My house has been disorganized, and more now, like I'm starting to clean up more. I'm starting to organize things the way how I would normally have them, and I can kind of feel my life, that normancy, is that even a word? I feel like my life is returning back to normal, and it's still gonna take a while. But I can see it now. Like I'm no longer depressed or hopeless because this is giving me a lot of hope. So now about the diet itself. In the beginning, the diet was difficult. I was always trying to figure out what to eat, how much to eat. I was having trouble because I would get full so fast, so I couldn't hit my dailies, like my daily macros of proteins and fat and calories. But in the beginning, like I didn't like certain foods. I didn't want to cook certain things. Like I couldn't stand ground beef. And what I started to notice is I feel like I'm a better cook now than I ever been, because I'm a little bit more. I pay a lot more attention to the way I cook my food, my oils. One thing I noticed is that you don't want to overcook your meals. You don't want to like let anything like slightly burn or well done. So like, I even enjoy ground beef now again. I pretty much enjoy everything that I cook. It tastes really good, and I always look forward to it. My meals are so much easier now to plan. My days are easier to plan, like around my foods. It's so simple. Like I eat so much faster than I did before, even like when I was healthy. Like now I wake up and I can make a meal in like 30 minutes, and like I don't even have to think about it. I already know what I have because it's so limited. Um, well, I don't mean so limited, but I mean like I know the things that I buy. So I just think about meat, red meat or chicken. I barely eat chicken and I barely eat pork chops. Most of my calories is from red meat. But every once in a while, I'll buy like some chicken or some pork. I haven't eaten pork for years, and I started eating pork again on the carnivore diet. I might get out of it again, but I just introduce it for now, just to play around with it. And I can plan my meals so much easier. I can eat so much easier. Like I don't have to think about eating anymore. I eat and I get full, and I'm satisfied. I made that fat bomb recently. I made that because I didn't consume enough calories, but I was full, and I made that fat bomb, and like I could barely even drink the whole thing, but it tasted really good. So meals are just easier now. What else? And I have to say, after 30 days on carnivore, I really like it. Like I really enjoy eating this way, and I'm gonna continue to do so for longer. Like I can't see myself going on any other diet just because of the simplicity, the time efficiency, and I love the way the food tastes. Um, and it's so simple. Like there's so many different recipes on carnivore, but like I just like sticking to the basics. I like cooking my steaks or my New York strips. I like my ground beef. I like either my fried eggs or scrambled eggs. I barely make boil because they come out bad a lot of times, so I just lose the desire to make boiled eggs. And then every once in a while, I consume heavy cream. Not very much, but I try to keep my calories between red meat, eggs, and a little bit of pork, and a lot of butter, a lot of I was about to call it gallo, a lot of tallow, and a lot of ghee. Those are like my three oils that I use. And it's very easy. Once you get it down, you're not gonna get it down the first try or the first day. It takes a while, trial and error, but it becomes very easy, and it's very enjoyable. And I look forward to going for 60, 90 days, who knows. But I'm gonna keep sticking to the diet, and I'm gonna keep talking about how it has affected me. But so far for these 30 days, I'll give it a big thumbs up. I don't want to give it like a rating or anything, but I see benefit for me going with the carnivore diet, because before it, I was like, I couldn't even speak with this much energy. I was so tired. Um, I didn't want to do anything, and now I'm in the park. I want to go running. So, I mean, that's a testament in itself.